All right, friends, if you missed my last update, then I was in the hospital. Something happened with my back on Saturday, the 18th, the day after I had surgery on my wrist and my elbow. So I went to the hospital because my legs were going numb. And in the hospital, they had to end up putting a catheter in because I could not go. So that was the 18th. It is now the 30th. I've been in rehab since Saturday. Neither function is working. They took the Foley out in the hospital. They gave it like 6 hours. My bladder filled up all the way and they had to drain it. So they just put the Foley back in. Last night or 2 nights ago, they started training my bladder, and they took the Foley out at 8:30 last night and had to put it back in this morning. At about 5 o'clock, they straight cathed me and got like 1,200 milliliters of fluid. And so they put the Foley back in. Now the other function isn't functioning either. They've done x-rays. There's no blockage. There's no impaction. I swear to God, they said there's nothing in there. That's probably not true, but there's nothing that should be impeding things. So I feel like I have paralytic ileus. I had them call my gastroenterologist today. They're referring me to a urologist. Honestly, I think the anesthesiologist from surgery fucked something up because she and her PA or nurse, whatever, were going back and forth on how they could give me general anesthesia. And I just looked at them and told them, it's like, yo, I've had general anesthesia like 15 times in the last 5 years. Like, it's not that serious. Well, I think they fucked something up. I honestly think they fucked something up. I think, I don't know, either that or it's the morphine that started it when I got to the emergency room. All I know is that I don't know what's going on and they can't figure it out. And if they can't figure it out, they're gonna have to send me back to the hospital. And it's looking like I may end up at the house with a catheter in. So I don't know. I am really struggling with my mental health. I had 3 different breakdowns on Monday. On Tuesday, I've basically been lying in the bed questioning if this is something I can do. And yesterday, I spoke with the mental health therapist that they have, and I told her, I was like, this is triggering everything that happened last year. All of that trauma, this has been one big trigger for that. And they want me to go to the gym to do physical therapy. And I told her, I was like, I don't think I can leave this room. And not because I don't want to do therapy. I want the therapy. But I also have to protect my mental health. I'm in a spot where I'm questioning life. And the last thing I need is to leave this room and be reminded that I'm in rehab and not at home or not at a spa or not at something like that. So I had Rob bring me some snacks. I bought a coloring book and some markers. I bought, Play-Doh has these, I think they're called blooms. And it's basically you create a bouquet of flowers using Play-Doh and it's for adults. So I bought a couple of those. Like, I'm trying to find things that will keep my mind occupied, because when I tell you, it's hard. It's hard to just lie in the bed and look at the ceiling. And, I'm only 48 years old. And can I do this for forever? The main issue was when I got here on Saturday, they didn't have any of my meds. So I went almost 20 hours without pain meds. Mind you, I had morphine the night before. So I basically was in bed in excruciating pain. Then they got my meds and they were doing it PRN. So I was having to request them, and like they wouldn't let me request more than every 6 hours. And I was like, this is not gonna work. So the occupational therapist came and saw me Monday. She's like, what's your pain? And I said, I am at a 9. She's like, you're at a 9? I'm like, I am at a 9. I said, and a 9 is high. I'm like, if you're someone who lives with chronic illness or chronic pain, Your 9 is like somebody else's 15. Like it would be off the charts for them. And so she reached out to the pain management doctor and they decided to go every 4 hours on my pain medicine, which also may be causing the bladder and the other issue. So they finally got my pain under control. I've been at a 6 pretty steadily since Tuesday. So that has been helpful. But I have a feeling I'm going to have to wean off the muscle relaxer and the pain meds, wean down to a different dose to see if that helps things get going, because nothing is working. I drank a bottle of magnesium citrate earlier and nothing, not even a gurgle. So when I tell you my mental health is at the worst it's ever been, it's at the worst it's ever been. And I'm trying my best just to take it one day at a time. I have a potential go home date of the 5th. That's why I told them, I was like, I need a date. I was like, even if we don't stick to that date, I said, I need a date. I need to know when I'm going to go home, because I want to go home right now. I miss my cat. I miss my husband. I miss my house, and it's so fucking hard. I'm doing the best I can, you guys. I'm really am doing the best I can. I'm trying the best that I can. So I will say that this rehab facility is heads and tails above the last one I was in. If something were to happen, God forbid, something were to happen again, or when I finally have to have my spinal fusion, I would come here 100%. They do therapy every day. Everybody's been so lovely. I've met almost everybody. This whole wing is just rehab. I have my own private room. Rob can come. He just has to walk here. So the facility is great. All of the staff are great. I just want to go home. I want to go home. I want to be better. And then I had some stupid new rash break out yesterday. And I'm like, what is going on with my body? Why is it choosing violence? It's choosing violence. And it's killing me. So, I don't know. They're trying to arrange transportation so I can have my infusion on Monday. And then they're trying to get a hold of a urologist and a gastroenterologist. I have a gastro. I don't have a urologist that I've been seeing. And then they have to make the appointment for me to go get my sutures out. It's just been one thing after the other. But I'm in good hands. They're taking good care of me. But goddamn, y'all. I cannot. I just can't.